Hello you lot, Miller Corner here and welcome back to my glorious Mercedes W123. I'm already in love with my classic Merc. It is a fantastic cruiser. I love these cars and this one looks to be a good example. However, there is one weakness to them and that is their bodywork. They tend to rot everywhere pretty much, front to back, top to bottom. Nothing is unknown in terms of rust on a W123. My car seems to be, fingers crossed, very good in that department. It looks really original and pleasingly rust free. So we're going to keep it that way by rust proofing it. There are a couple of bits underneath where the factory underseal has started to flake away, and that is a big cause of rot on these cars because water gets underneath it, rots the car out from within, and you don't know until the floor falls out. So first things first, I've got it up on these lovely ramps. I'm going to get under it, wire brush those couple of bits back before we then rust proof and cavity wax the whole car. So for some context, this is what the underside of this car looks like. We're at the back of the car now, that's the spare wheel well, and just look how unbelievably clean this is. There's no rot in any of the structural areas. Look, all the spring hangers are good, around the fuel tank is all good, you can go around the rear exhaust silencer, even the rear arches, they've got a bit of mud in there, but actually they are absolutely fine structurally. There's just some paint flaking off which I can sort later. Now that does mean that getting this car rust proofed is a priority more than ever, because it means we're working with a car that actually is really, really good. So I'm going to run it around a bit more under here and try and find any examples of that dreaded flaky underseal that 123 owners live in fear of. New bolts. This is the kind of stuff we're talking about. Literally a couple of little blemishes where the factory stuff has peeled off. We need to get that, quick bit of rust converter on it and then protect it immediately. So I've had to wire brush a few little bits back like this, just where the edge of the factory underseal has started to peel. So you just wire brush it back, bit of rust converter. But generally, the condition of the underside of this car is unbelievable, and it doesn't look like it's been aftermarket underseal. This all looks like factory stuff. It's dirty, but that's about it. Wire brush a few more bits back and then rust proof the old girl. This is really good, people, really good. So you might notice that to do this, I'm laying on concrete, which is kind of grassy and mossy and muddy, and I'm mostly on my back. So if I just hand the camera to my girlfriend, this is what I look like from the front. Not too bad, I've just brushed a load of stuff off. This is what I look like from behind. Au natural. So I've got as much flaking under seal and odd little surface rust under the car as I could with a small wire brush, and then getting a massive chunky one. Phenomenally solid under there. It is a real testament to all its previous owners and to Mercedes engineering and rust proofing. This car just wants to live. It's fantastic. Next thing I need to do is protect those little surface rusty bits with some rust converter. There's many options you can choose. I've got this one, Hammerite Cure Rust. This isn't sponsored, just I've used it before. It's not too expensive and it seems to work very, very well. So I'm going to just brush this on all the loose rust areas, which is just bare metal now, and then when they're all done and converted in just an hour or so's time, we can go over to the workshop and get on with undersealing. With the Merc moved to the workshop, cleaned underneath, and the last few bits of rust converter applied, it's time for the underseal. We lay it on thick in every area of the underbody possible, including the fuel tank, while trying not to coat areas like the exhaust or the driveline. For those of you saying that this black underseal is non-standard, I know, but I'd much rather be looking at black rust proofing than brown rust. We're also cavity waxing the Merc, injecting the stuff into the chassis of the car to give it the best possible protection. 123's rot for fun, and mine is incredibly solid, so I want to keep it that way. Now the underbody's protected from rust, I want to prevent leaks causing rust inside the car by replacing this knackered driver's door seal. Doing so is a little bit more of a faff than just peeling off the old one and putting the new one on though. And then when you get to this bit where the check strap is, just take the pen out of the check strap so that can flap around. Then thread the new door rubber with this cutout in it over the check strap. Then you put glue on this flat surface here, press it into place where it slots over these holes in it, where then this metal trim goes. Then you push that in place, glue it down, then clip this down over the door seal to keep it in place. So it's about 3 or 4 different ways of attaching it. Glue on there, stick it down, clip it in place, pin back in there, job's a good one. Drive. While Dad takes on the door seal, I break out the wire brush to clear all the crud out of the wheel arches. Like the underside, the arches are remarkably and mercifully rust free, so I scrub thoroughly, use rust converter where it's needed, and then after covering the brakes and the suspension, the arches too can be rust proof. So that's one fully rust-proof Mercedes and one disgusting me. I'd forgotten quite how filthy you get when rust-proofing cars. Wear crappy clothes and be prepared to have a shower because it is filthy. But that car is not only pretty much rust-free, it's now totally protected and good for... Then the GoPro died. But now the Mercedes is fully rust-proofed and protected, I feel totally confident using it all year round, exactly like you should with these cars. Next time we'll finish putting the interior back together, but for now thanks very much for watching everybody and have a brilliant rest of your day. Catch you soon and have a good one.